Today I'm going to be installing Aerocatch Flush Bonnet Pins on the lifted MX-5. These are going onto the boot of the lifted MX-5. If you've seen the previous videos, this has basically been put in by locksmith. Someone left their keys in the car. So when this goes down and closes, I have to basically put a hanger in, fish out this wire and open it. So the only other option to not putting these bonnet pins on would be to buy a new kind of like locking mechanism here for the key. I'd probably need a new key and everything. I'm sure that would cost a lot more than these bonnet pins. I think these will look a lot better as well. Instead of every time I want to open the boot, instead of having to put the key in, I can just pop up the two bonnet pins, and they have locks on them as well, so I can lock them if I kind of have something in there I don't want people getting. Flush bonnet pins as well, so they will sit flush with the metal. You can see there's like a little groove in here, so the only part, this kind of top part which kind of flips up and all, will be in line with the bonnet. So it's going to be pretty hard to cut this, I imagine, as I'm going to have to kind of cut it exactly in line with the whole kind of surround. Usually with the normal bonnet pins, you just drill the hole for the pin to come up through, and then this kind of part sits on top. And then the rest of it kind of sits underneath, so it's not, you don't have to be as accurate as I'm going to have to be with these. So I have I'm going to take out, there's another piece here that comes with it, so I'm going to cut out, I'm going to mark a stencil basically with this, and then I have like a Dremel. I'm going to kind of grind all the way around, just kind of inside a little bit, and then I'm going to test fit it, and just, I said it's going to be back and forth, test fitting it, cutting it a little bit more just to get exact. I don't want to kind of come out low and then have a big gap where you can see this plastic underneath. I think there's a few bolts then as well which hold it in through the top, and then the whole mechanism sits underneath. Firstly, I'm going to have to take out the old locking mechanism here, so I'm just going to pop this off now. And it's out now. So next thing I'm going to do is, this is where I think I'm going to put the pins through. So I think I'm going to cut up here, and then bend this out straight, and then I'll put some gussets or something on the side if it's not strong enough. After cutting both of these sides here and bending them out straight, so this is where I'm going to attach the pin off the bonnet pins. What I think I'm going to do is, there's already a hole here that's in obviously the exact same position on either side, so I'm just going to put the pin down through there. So what I'm going to do next is use a little Mighty Car Mods trick and put a little bit of toothpaste on either side of the bonnet pins, lower this down, and then I'll see exactly where I have to drill through on both sides. I have both holes drilled now for the bonnet pins to come through. You can see they are just there. I don't have them tight yet, so that's why they're not coming through. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to mask up here, and I'm going to get the template here matching up where the hole's going to be, and I'm going to mark out where I'm going to cut the whole thing. The hole is now cut, so you can see that this slips in underneath, and then I think there's about 6 bolts that go around the top piece here. I'm going to mark them using this now, same as I done with the other piece. It took a lot longer than I thought to cut this, just because you have to get it so close to sit in. It is a little bit off, but I think I'm just going to use a little bit of body filler just to kind of, you can see there's tiny little gaps, focus, little gaps around there, tiny ones there as well. So I'm just going to use body filler at the probably just before I plasti dip the car, just to have it nice and even so it looks nice and flush. You can see though that there's a slight angle in the bonnet, so the you can see the front bit there sticks out a tiny bit, but the back here it's fairly flush. You can see it there. So I'm going to go ahead now and mark out those holes, drill those through, and then run the screws through to hold that in place. Focus. After installing all the bolts now to hold the locking mechanism, so you can see it's held in fairly sturdy. So I'm just going to close, or actually no, open it. After positioning the pin, I brought this forward a little bit, made the hole a little bit bigger, and kind of brought it forward. So this is kind of the position I think the pin, it needs to actually go that high. I might bring it down a little bit lower. You'll see now, as you can see the pin come up through there. That closes, and you have to push the forward lock down, and that's it, closed. Both of the locking mechanisms are both in now. After losing 2 of the nuts for that side, so I'm going to do that another day. I'm going to have to pick up 2 new ones. The reason I fitted these to lifted MX-5 was because I didn't want to buy a new locking mechanism for the boot, as I need a new key, and I'm sure that would cost a bit, and these look a lot better, and they're a lot easier to use as well. Just for accessing the boot, before you would have to use the key. There's no other way to open the boot in this car, because there's no central locking and there's no mechanism inside the car. So now it's just pop up these 2 and I'm in. So if anyone's looking for these, I'll have a link in the description. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep updated with the build of this lifted MX-5. And the next video, I'm going to have a few more videos coming on my daily MX-5. That car's getting plasti dipped again. I'm getting new wheels, and then in a few weeks I'll have some more body pieces coming to a front splitter, side skirts, and a few other pieces. So I'll see you in the next video.